In lawn care, there are no secrets, there are no magic bullets, and there are no miracle products. But in today's video, I want to go over 10 things that you could be doing. Now, I'm sure there's more, but maybe 10 things that you're doing that could be wrecking your lawn. So if you want to have a beautiful lawn, evaluate these 10 things. Ask yourself, could I improve on these? Am I doing any of these? And see if it doesn't help you get a better looking lawn. Now, first, I want to say that these are not in any particular order. All right, they're all really, really important. I guess the thing you need to understand about lawn care is that, or having a nice lawn for that matter, is it's not usually just one thing that you're doing. It's a culmination of a lot of different things that add up to a great looking lawn. It's the old like death by 1,000 cuts type thing. So if you're consistent, you do the right things over and over and over and over, you get a lawn that looks like this. So let's get into the 10 things and not waste any more time. Number one is that you are not using a pre-emergent. Guys, the easiest, most cost-effective application that you're gonna make all year is a pre-emergent. Okay, it's readily available. You can find it everywhere. It's in liquid, it's in granular, however you wanna do it. And it's proven that it prevents weeds and it will eliminate your weed problem for the entire year. Okay, now there are a couple things that you need to know, like you got to apply it at the right time. So we got to do it before the weeds germinate, and then we also have to get it watered in. It's got to be in the soil. But if you do those two things, weeds are not going to be a problem. You're going to eliminate 95% of the weed problem that you're going to have for an entire year. So don't let weeds wreck your year. Don't let them wreck your lawn. Do a simple pre-emergent application. Number two is that you don't understand the lawn calendar. Now, whether you have a cool season lawn or a warm season lawn, they all have what we call a calendar. It's basically the timing of the applications that we're going to make throughout the year. Okay, so if you have a cool season lawn, you look at a cool season growth calendar, you see basically two humps. You see one in the spring and then one in the fall. And if you have a warm season turf, you see one right in the middle. Okay, it's usually late spring to early fall. And everything that we do in lawn care is because of the weather. It's how our lawn reacts to the weather that dictates what we do. So that's why we have a lawn calendar. And until you understand that lawn calendar, you're rowing upstream. Look, lawn care is all about making the right applications at the right time. Just like we talked about in tip number one, if you apply a pre-emergent at the wrong time, it doesn't do you any good. So applying a fertilizer at the right time, to make sure that you're applying your grub control at the right time. It's all built on this calendar. So there are lawn plans available. I've got lawn plans available. There are lawn plans online. There's free ones, there's paid for ones, but you have to understand the calendar. Otherwise, you are wrecking your lawn. Number three is thinking that natural means that it's safe. Let me give you a specific example where natural doesn't mean safe, because that's what we all think. Well, if it's natural, it's got to be safe, right? But that is not always the case. See, what most people don't understand is that most natural weed killers are non-selective. So if you run to the big box store, Lowe's, Home Depot, you jump on Amazon, whatever, and you go buy a natural weed killer and you spray it on your lawn, most of them are non-selective. So you think, oh, I'm spraying it, it's natural, it's safe, it's going to kill the weed. Yeah, it's going to kill the weed, but it's also going to kill your grass. So it's not safe for your grass, okay? So don't just assume that because it's natural, it means it's safe. Sure, it may be safe for pets and maybe safe for you to use, but it's not safe for your lawn. And the other thing I want you to know about natural products is they don't work like traditional synthetic products. So if you have the expectation that natural means you're going to get the same results, you're sorely mistaken. They don't work the same. Sometimes they work slower. Temperature plays a big role in how they work. So just understand that going natural doesn't always mean that you're safe. Number 4, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because it kind of gets overdone on YouTube, but watering. Don't let that me saying that minimize the importance of watering, because if you want to wreck your lawn overnight, start watering wrong. Okay, so really quick, make sure you're watering at the right time. Don't water at night. Stop watering at night. In the evening, stop doing that. Okay, stop watering every day. Okay, weed roots are shallow. Grass roots are deep. Push the water away from the weeds to where the grass wants it. Stress out the weeds and not the grass. Okay? Stop watering every day and stop watering for 15 minutes. Okay? 15 minutes is not enough time. Okay? Unless you're watering with a fire hydrant, I guess 15 minutes, yeah, that would be enough time. So water deep, water infrequently, water at the right time. Let your lawn tell you when it's thirsty. Don't get on some schedule of thinking I got to water every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever. Okay, get off of that. Stop thinking that way. Water when your lawn is thirsty. Number 5, you're letting crabgrass get out of control and not tackling it early. Look, one of the most common weeds that we all deal with, California to North Carolina, Wisconsin to Florida, we all deal with crabgrass. So if you don't get down a pre-emergent, which you should get down a pre-emergent, if you don't do that, make sure you're tackling crabgrass early in the season. It's the most prolific weed that we all deal with, and it will wreck your lawn. One grass plant, I don't know, produces like 10,000 some seeds. So one plant turns into 10,000, turns into 10 million, and your lawn is devastated by crabgrass. It will grow anywhere, anytime, everywhere. Okay? Tackle it early. Okay? Get a weed control that will take care of crabgrass when that plant is immature. And that really goes for any weed. You always want to tackle a weed early. Don't let it mature. They're much harder to control. Number 6, if you're not aerating your lawn in the fall, now I'm talking to my cool season friends, but if you're not aerating in the fall, and I'm talking about core aeration, you are really missing the boat, because core aeration is the single best thing that you're going to do for the overall health, density, color, everything for your turf. It's going to open up that ground. It's going to let water and sunlight and nutrients get down to those roots. It's going to relieve compaction. So we talked about a calendar earlier in the video. If you don't have an aeration on your calendar, you are absolutely missing the boat. I'm talking core aeration, not the spike aeration. Big difference. Number 7, you're not feeding your lawn enough. Did you know that the average homeowner only feeds their lawn once a year? And only 28% feed once a year. If you want a great looking lawn, you have to feed it. The way I think about it is, out here, it is a competition for real estate. And we want our grass to win that battle. And in order to do that, the grass has to be healthy. We have to feed it. We have to get it growing. We have to water it correctly. We have to cut it correctly. Because if not, A weed is going to take over, a bug is going to take over, fungus is going to take over, because everything that's going on out here is competing for space and real estate. So you have to feed it. If you're only feeding your lawn once or twice a year, now I know there are some grass types that don't need a lot of food, but that's overall what I'm saying is you need to be feeding 4 to 6 times a year minimum. I'm of the opinion that feeding 6 times a year is great, but I'd rather feed 12, but feed half as much at each time. So we're not getting those big surges of growth, right? So we're not mowing like crazy, okay? But you have to feed your lawn. What you choose to do that with, whether that's, urea or ammonium sulfate or the Andersons or Milorganite, whatever you like, that's up to you. But make sure you are feeding your lawn. Number 8. If you have to follow the label of the product that you're using, because that is wrecking your lawn. 99% of all the questions that you have, that like when you jump online and you're asking questions about, can I mix this with that? Or are there temperature restrictions? Or can I combine this product? Or can I spray? Or does it kill? Or all of those questions are answered on the label. And every product is going to have a label by law. So read the label. It's going to answer all of your questions. The other thing reading a label is going to do is help prevent you from making a mistake in the lawn and harming your lawn. Because the label is going to tell you if you can apply it over 85 degrees or if it's going to harm your grass and kill the weed or whatever. But you have to read the label. There's just no two ways about it. You got to read the label. And if you want to prevent something bad from happening to your lawn, make sure you read the label. Number 9 is ignoring the warning signs. Look, did you know that grass can talk? It absolutely does. Your grass will tell you what it needs. We were just talking about water not too long ago. Your lawn will tell you when it's thirsty. It will tell you when it's sick. You just got to look at it. You got to listen to it. You got to pay attention to it. If you want to know what it needs, just ask. Get out there, walk your lawn, get on your hands and knees and pull a grass blade and look at it. It will tell you. It will talk to you. It'll tell you if it's thirsty. It'll tell you if it's sick, if it's got a fungus. It'll tell you if there's a bug problem. It'll tell you if your blades aren't sharp enough. All you got to do is ask. Your grass does talk to you. Number 10, and before we get to number 10, I want to let you know I do have a bonus tip as well, and it's probably maybe not something that's wrecking your lawn, but something that will greatly benefit you if you do it. So number 10, again, this is one that gets covered a lot on YouTube. I just made a video about the importance of this topic, and that is mowing. Look, watering, mowing, and feeding, we call those the cultural practices. They are so stinking important. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on mowing, but don't let that be confused with it's not important. When you mow, how you mow, and what you mow with are incredibly important. Okay, so make sure you're mowing correct. Make sure you have sharp mower blades. You're mowing at the right time of day. You're mowing at the right height for your grass type, that you're mowing dry grass. Again, we talked about this in the very beginning. Lawn care is just a culmination of little things that add up to a bigger picture. It's not just the one thing that you're doing. Okay, you got to do all these things correct over and over and over and over, and eventually they become second nature. So let's get into the bonus tip, because I really do love this one. Something else that could be wrecking your lawn is that you're not flexible. You're too rigid when it comes to lawn care. Lawn care is not a one size fits all. It's not what works for me may not work for you. The fertilizer response that I get in my lawn, in my area, with my grass type, in my geographic location may not work for you, even though we have the same grass type or the same grass seed or whatever. You have to be flexible. You have to take everything kind of with a grain of salt and not be so rigid. Perfect example. Obviously, The wind is blowing like crazy. It's springtime. It's a little bit chilly. And so one would say, well, you're supposed to water an inch per week. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm watering an inch per week, but my lawn is still drying out. But I thought you said you were supposed to water an inch per week. And that's true. But you have to be flexible and understand that the weather plays such a big role in what we're doing out here. So the air is dry, so that's why it's chilly. The wind is blowing, so it's drying out the grass. So to say that you're supposed to water an inch per week is accurate, but when the conditions are the way they are, you have to be flexible. You have to recognize that and kind of change your watering habits or your mowing habits or your fertilization schedule. You know, you got to be flexible. It's not just I set my watering schedule Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, and I move on down the road. And I always mow on Saturday and I always mow on Wednesday. It doesn't work that way. You have to be flexible and not be so rigid. Again, and the last thing I want to leave you with about being rigid is just understanding that the weather dictates everything that we're doing. Everything. Whether we're mowing, whether we're watering, whether we've got fungus, the bugs, just everything. So if you're not paying attention to the weather, you really need to become a weather expert. Looking at the 10-day forecast, looking at, the immediate, the next couple of days, but also 10 days, ahead of time, and planning and being flexible to be able to change. So just to kind of put a bow on everything, if you want a nice looking lawn, you want a great looking lawn, evaluate these 10 things and ask yourself, is there something that I could improve? Because if you've got a not so good, crappy looking lawn, chances are you're making one of these mistakes. So just look at those, evaluate them. I promise if you do them, you correct them over time, you keep doing it over and over and over, you'll gradually start seeing a change. Remember, death by 1,000 cuts. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. My hope is that it helps you. That's why I'm doing it. So if you have a question, leave me a question down below. If you've got another, something else that you want to add to the video that you think maybe I missed, comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.